everybody. My name is Ravina Banks. I am the program director for the S.H.E.R.O Initiative Program. It's a program for Alpha Gamma Xi Sorority Incorporated. We are a military sorority, and the S.H.E.R.O program aids women veterans that are homeless or displaced or in need of other resources. Today is the S.H.E.R.O Virtual Summit, tapping into your inner strength, and we have our first guest speaker, Shonda Taylor with Credit Up America. She helps with personal business credit and also home ownership. So she has a plethora of information to give us. And so I won't take up too much more. I just wanted to welcome everybody. Thank you for coming in. We have our Facebook group, so you'll be able to chat in there. And we can see your comments, questions, concerns. So just let us know. If you type it in, we'll be able to put it on the screen and answer your questions at the end of her presentation. I'm gonna leave the stream, but let me put up her. All right, Shonda.
Hi guys. So as Dina said, I do specialize in personal credit, business credit, and I'm also a realtor here in Virginia. Just over the years, I've noticed with my own personal experience, I'll just tell you a little bit about me and kind of like what drove me to get to where I am today. Single mom, two kids. I had a very, very great job here in Virginia, one of the uh, top paid call centers. Was doing extremely well for myself, and I always had money, but I was just ignorant about how to save money or make money work for me or credit. I kind of paid things when I got ready to pay things, and when I finally decided, hey, I want to actually own my own place, I couldn't. I had the money, I had the funds, I had the down payment, I had the income, but my credit wasn't where it needed to be. So that just kind of sent me on this mission to make sure I learned everything I could possibly learn about credit, business credit, as well as home ownership. So now I am a credit specialist for both personal and business, and I'm also a realtor. So I kind of lead by the example. If I can do it, you can do it too. And that's just basically where we are. So we know credit repair companies are super popular these days. And what I wanted to talk to you about today was basically credit conversations, making sure you select the appropriate credit repair company and just kind of giving you some insight on the things that you should be looking for. One thing I'm big on is doing a consultation first. I am a firm believer that I should be able to sit you down and tell you what I can do for you specifically. Not a fan of blanket advice because it doesn't always suit the needs of the person I'm talking to. I'll give you an example. For one, you'll see a lot of people say, oh, when you use your credit card, make sure you pay the balance in full. That was one that was kind of popular on my page last week. That works for people who are established and already have what they want to have. But if you're looking to build credit, unfortunately, you have to carry a little debt because that's the way credit scores are built. It's based on how well do you manage the debt that you have. So if you're eliminating the debt every month and by the time it reports to the credit bureau, you're at $0, you're doing yourself a disservice if your goal is to increase your credit score. So we can jump into the presentation. I call this Credit Conversations just to get this info out here. And Vina, if you want to, you can go to the next slide, or will it allow me to do it? All right, so this is just a little bit about myself, which my name is Shonda Taylor. I'm a credit consultant. My area of expertise is personal business, and I'm also a realtor here in Virginia. And next slide. All right, at Credit Up America, we provide credit restoration as well as education for both personal and business. We equip you with the tools that you need so that you can envision tomorrow on your terms. Basically, it's great to hear that you've been approved, but what's better, being approved with a 30% interest rate or a 5% interest rate? And we just kind of educate you along the way so that you make sure you're getting the best deal. All right, next one. What is credit repair? So 1 in 5 people have errors on their credit report. I always tell my clients, credit repair is me helping you increase your overall credit score. Yes, sometimes we can remove negative items off your credit report that you are technically and legally responsible. but they have an obligation to make sure they do it the correct way. And when they don't, it doesn't mean that you're not responsible for it. It just means that it can't report to the credit bureau. For example, I have had student loans removed. You went to school, you got the education, you owed a debt. But if student loans don't report that information correctly, then by law, it has to be removed from the credit report. That does not erase the debt or wipe away the debt, but what it does do is it takes it off the credit report so that when someone else is checking it, it doesn't appear. So your debt to income ratio could be lowered because of that. But student loans do have an obligation to report correctly. And when they don't, they have to remove it. Next slide. All right. So here at Credit Up America, like I said, we do consultations for every potential client. This allows us to basically tailor the service to what your needs are. Someone with no credit may not be in need of credit restoration. They just might need a little bit of education and guidance on how to actually build their credit. So that's why we do a consultation first, to just kind of make sure you're going to be a good fit. Sometimes it's worth, spending the $25 or $50 or whatever the consultation fee is at that time, instead of signing up for a service that ultimately would be of no use to you. So I noticed that was happening when I first started. So I wanted to try to fix that situation and make it a win-win for both me and any potential client I come across. All right, next one. And what it takes. All right, so if you are interested in repairing your credit, then you have to know what's on your credit. I do typically use a service called Identity IQ, but right now with what's going on with COVID-19, annualcreditreports.com is allowing you to access your credit reports monthly. So if you create an account with them, you'll be able to access your credit reports monthly. Now, I'm not sure about the score, but I do know that they have made that change in light of what's going on. I am very hands-on with my clients. So I do require that you turn in your credit reports when you receive them in the mail. And every month, I like to ask for proof of address, because when I reach out to the credit bureaus on your behalf, they want to see that you're still living in this place of residence. And that's usually solidified by a utility bill. Next. All right, so some do's when you are focused on repairing your credit. Do monitor it. Do pay everything that reports to the credit bureau on time. One late payment can tank your score by about 25 to 35 points. So not worth it when you can try to budget to avoid late payment fees. You can always call and ask what your options are, what the company can do for you. You can always ask. So that's one thing I found too. Communication is key. See what's available. The person on the other end of the phone does not know you personally. So if you call them and say, hey, what are my options? I'm not able to make a payment this month. Put that pride to the side, because the ultimate goal is, not having a late fee or a late charge for report to the credit bureau. So I'm a big fan of calling and seeing what's available to you, and basically just communicate. If 10 days before your payment is due that you're not going to be able to make it, call them and ask them, hey, can you put this payment to the back end of my loan? Or if I can pay XYZ, will you not report it late? Don't be late. Like I said, late payments will tank your credit score. Don't go over your spending limits. There's a 30% rule with credit card balances. When you start to teeter over 30%, makes it look like you need credit. So what you want to do is you want to stay under that 30% mark so that they can see you know how to manage debt and you don't actually need it. Don't apply for everything under the sun. I feel like applying and being denied is a double whammy, because now you lost 2 points to an inquiry and you still didn't get what you were in search for. So don't kind of like apply for things willy-nilly. Next. And basically what makes us unique, we do have a high success rate. We do have bundled services. So that means if you are a personal credit and business credit, we do offer discounted rates. We do have a diverse portfolio. We help everyone from all walks of life, all income brackets, all, you name it. Like, I've helped at least one person all over the country. So there's really not a face you could put on bad credit. And then we just like to empower our clients. I feel like you should be my client one time when it comes to credit repair, because I should be able to educate you enough along the process that once we get your scores to where you need them to be, you should be able to maintain them. Next. My favorite saying, credit is money, because you can have all the money in the world, but if it requires you to have a decent credit, then credit still equals out to money. This was a saying by Benjamin Franklin, and it's basically, how well does this person maintain their name? Can I give this person something based on who they are? Do they pay their debts back? Do they do what they say they're going to do when they say they're going to do it? And so I take that part very serious. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I try my best to get it done. If I can't, I let you know as soon as I know. So credit is money. Next. All right. So results. By law, I cannot guarantee you that I can help you improve your credit score, or I can delete certain things. Sounds crazy, but by law, I can't do that. But based on our track record and our clients, we do know everybody's credit file is unique. So what I'm able to achieve for one person may not be the same for the next 10 to 15 other people, but we're upfront and we're honest about that. And what works for one, unfortunately, is not guaranteed for all. But I wake up almost every other day to honest, unsolicited results from clients. So, I try my best to go above and beyond for everyone and provide customer service. But by law, I can't guarantee you anything, which makes credit repair a little risky. But next. Always hire professionals, someone who has an honest track record, someone who's going to be able to sit you down and say, hey, let's look at your credit report together. These are the things that are helping you. These are the things that's hurting you. Here is how I can help, and here's a plan going forward. So just kind of do your due diligence. I know in the days of social media, people can present themselves to be professionals or to know a little bit more than they actually do, but kind of go off your gut feeling. Always interview that person. I tell my clients, ask as many questions as you need until you feel comfortable, because I don't want you to do anything where you don't feel comfortable. So always hire professionals. Next. Envision life on your terms. Nobody likes being denied or told no, or you can't get it, or not right now. So my goal with my clients, based on what their specific goals are, whether it's business, whether it's purchasing a home, whether it's improving their personal credit score to reduce how much they're paying on credit card interest or car loan interest, we sit down, we have a conversation about it. And like, I still get old clients who will call me and say, hey, I need you to look at something really quick. I'm about to apply, and I just want to make sure I don't get denied. And I don't mind that, because you want to envision life on your terms. Like, there was a meme going around where there was like a newer model Camry, but there was person A who had excellent credit, and their interest rate was probably no more than 3% on the car, maybe even 0%. And it showed how much they paid in the long run. So they compared it to person B, who had not so great credit, and person B actually paid for the car almost twice what it was worth. So as you start becoming aware of how essential credit is, you'll start learning about how money works and what interest rates are good, what interest rates are a little bit too high. I have clients who now, when they get credit card offers, they have no interest rate. So the bank literally makes no money off of them, probably off of other loan products, but their credit is so good that they get these introductory rates for like the first year or two while they're using someone else's money. Next. So these are, they're like a super couple. Me and Jadine, which is the husband, we used to work together at the call center, and he used to ask a lot of questions. So one day I called him an asshole. Like, you just asked all the questions. And I know I welcome questions, but Jadine took it like to the next level. But that's my buddy though. Him and his wife, he was a little skeptical at first. And he would ask me probably about 10 to 15 questions a day. And I'm like, bro, I'm on my break. I don't feel like talking. But I would answer them. So one day he was like, you know what? We're going to give it a shot. We're going to try. We're going to see how it goes. So I got him and his credit, him and his wife credit, Christina, got their credit together in about 6 months. They then went on to purchase a home. They had the home built from the ground in the Williamsburg area. They love the home. And then, man, they are just now killing it. They're both like serial entrepreneurs. They own a restaurant, a Jamaican restaurant in the Hampton area of Virginia. And I think they opened one in Williamsburg. So it was just, it's still amazing to see their growth, to have him go from being skeptical, to have him being skeptical about his credit to being able to purchase their first home to now they're opening and running multiple business is just a highlight. So I'm very proud of the Jackson. And next, the Scott family. Same situation, but they had already had their future mapped out. They just needed me to get their credit where they needed to be. They knew they wanted a house built from the ground. This is Carmesia and Marcus Scott, and I am happy to announce that by the end of this month, they should be closing on their brand new home built from the ground. Marcus was one of the clients who, he didn't need much. He just needed to be told how to get his credit to the next level. It wasn't where he had a ton of things going on or anything like that. He just needed some advice on how to get to the next level. He did exactly what I said. And within 2 to 3 months of his repair journey, we were entering into a contract for their brand new house. So I'm extremely proud of the Scotts as well. Next. And anybody watching today, you are entitled to the 50% off discount. You can actually text this word credit to this code 38470 to schedule your consultation. It will automatically send you the link to schedule it. In the coupon code, you're just going to want to enter in May. We are running a 50% off all consultations for the month of May. Regular consultation is typically $49.99 for 30 minutes, but we've discounted it by 50%. So now it's $24.99. And I believe for business, it's $150, but we're discounting that by 50%. So now it's $75. And you can do that at your earliest convenience whenever you get a chance to. And if anybody has any questions regarding personal business or real estate, let me know. Now I can see the live comments. The last one I got was at 203.
Hold on, I'm gonna thank you, Shonda. Let me say that first before I come back in talking. So rude.
No, you're fine.
Let me I can click on the comments and put them across the screen. So if anybody has any questions, just type them in. And yeah, I don't see any more comments. I don't know if anybody else said anything after that, but if you have any questions, just type it in the comment box and we will put it across the screen and answer it for you.
Thank you, April.
That was some good information.
Thank you.
Good information. I wish you were doing this when I needed to get my credit together. But guess what? I'm going to still come in and you know, be your customer client.
Oh,
you may be able to help me do some more stuff. What, you know, because I got my business and all like that.
Yeah, well, you know, I am a fan. And this has about a mention t-shirt. I definitely tell you because my t-shirts are, what, they're like a year since they was old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't wash them about 30 times. And my vinyl is still popping. So I know the quality of the in this stuff. That stuff is a lot, girl. Like I've been in a group that's long. Like, oh, this is not my area. But no, you do amazing work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's good that you can bear your own testimony about getting your credit together, the worth of it, and because I know a lot of us. Oh, hold on, I got a question for you. Hold on.
Okay. Are you an American citizen?
It's on the screen.
Okay. As long as you are a U.S. citizen with a credit profile, your location is not a barrier. Because I have people who, I have clients who are currently in Bahrain, merchants in Yemen, so they're always all over the place. I help out everywhere.
So as long as you're an American citizen, she got
with a credit profile.
With a credit profile. What if you don't have a credit profile? Then what?
Meaning like just have no credit at all.
Mm-hmm.
And we help you build it. Okay. Yep. And we kind of discover that during the consultation period, and then we can tell you what to do to increase it, or, get a score.
Trying to see if anybody else had any other.
They can't inbox, but it just says so I don't see a name or anything.
Yeah, because they didn't click on a thing to have their name pop up on our side, but in the group you can see who it is.
Okay.
So if you go look in the group right now, you can see who the person is that's asking.
I'm gonna do it on my phone.
And I still have your email address and stuff up on the screen, so they should be.
Yep, so they can text me, email me, whichever you.
Did anyone else have any questions? Comments? That was a good 15 minutes of information. Like, you got a lot of good information in there in that short amount of time.
Thank you. I try.
I can imagine what you do during the consultation.
Listen, we go deep. Only if though, but I'm talking everything from incorrect spelling and names to old addresses, phone numbers, employers, all that stuff.
Yeah,
because then it also allows you to see if any of the negative accounts are reporting inaccurate information or different information, and it helps us come up with a game plan right. Yep.
I know when I was married the first time, because we had bought a house and stuff together. After we had bought a house and stuff together, once we got divorced, we were still attached to each other. So even when he moved, his address would be on my credit.
Pop up on your stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't even know what this address is. So
in that situation, I would talk to the credit bureau and know we are either separated or divorced. You can go ahead and separate our credit.
That's exactly what I had to do. Had to go through and get those addresses that I was never connected to removed from our credit report. So I don't even think that people realize that either. That even though you're divorced from someone, if y'all had anything together that involved credit, y'all might still be
y'all profiles out. Yeah. I see a lot of parents' names on credit reports, especially if they're like junior. They don't differentiate. So sometimes people have stuff and vice versa. So
yep. Because my oldest son, him and his dad have the same name, and I'm like, this is so annoying.
Good thing. Or it could be a bad.
Right. If it's a good thing, just leave it. But if it's something bad, I need you to take that off.
Right. Like, I was talking to my little brother, and he has a house. According to his credit score, he has a house in Alexandria, like $400,000. And I said,
right.
If they ever show make a big deal about it. So, and I know that sounds, if it's helping you.
Oh, they said it's an echo.
Oh, probably. Being a Mac, that camera is yeah. Let me try to get it.
Do y'all still hear an echo? No, I don't even hear it no more now. Did anybody else have any information, any questions? I think it's like 4 people still on here. Oh, you in the group. If you know anyone that signed up for the summit, please refer them to the Facebook group because I don't know if people don't understand the email or not that I sent. Some people are clicking on the
this was pretty cool.
Some people aren't. Oh, here go. You see the question?
Yes, I would just get it done at the same time if they're trying to achieve a certain goal within a certain time frame. For instance, like couple on the purchase out. If you have that in a 12-month plan, I would probably do it at the same time if it's needed. Because see, sometimes a consultation reveals the fact that it's not even needed. You might just need to come up with a game plan to increase your credit score versus actual repair.
That was something else good that you said. That sometimes you may not even need repair. You just may need to come up with a game plan to actually get credit or increase your credit score by maybe getting a secured credit card or something like that.
Yep, or using it the right way. I never forget one girl told me, she was like, well, I got the credit card and I maxed it out and now I'm making the minimum payment. And I'm like, no. Things happen. Don't get me wrong. Life happens. And if you have the funds available to use them, by all means, use them. But on the flip side of that, just try to create a plan to where you're getting back to that 30% and below mark. For instance, my people who starting out with credit, you can buy trade lines, which is a gift and a curse. I feel like it's a curse because it takes away your ability to manage it, right? Because you got somebody doing it for you and it's like clockwork and you just reaping the benefits. But if you need to crawl before you walk, I suggest like a $200 secured card, spend $60 on it, maybe fill the gas tank up twice or something like that, and then make the minimum payment every month till you get to zero. And then you do it again with charging the $60. So that way you get in the habit of A, using a credit card where you only using 30% of your limit, and B, paying it on time, which means you managing 65% of your FICO score, which only helps your score go up. So that's definitely a plus. Yep. Anything else? Y'all might just shy.
Y'all put in your questions. It doesn't matter what, I mean, no question is too stupid when it comes to credit, because we all, are still learning, as
Yeah, I learned something new.
I know I know I myself didn't grow up with anyone telling me how important credit was. So I'm sure that some of you are the same, and I'm learning at 41 years old, I mean, I learned before 41, but y'all know what I'm saying.
But it's definitely something new to learn every day. Like, I think Senator Elizabeth Warren was saying how these major companies who profit off our information, i.e., our cell phone number, email address, name, physical address, things of that information, that they should be returning some of that money back to the person. Like, information is a billion-dollar industry.
Oh,
yes. It is good to make a teenager an authorized user. I would even go as far as sitting them down and showing them how to use the card, because the moment that they turn 18, as long as the card they're an authorized user on has done right by the card with the payment history and the utilization, they benefit from all that history immediately. Yes, I would recommend adding a child. I think they have to be 18, but you want to call the place that you want to add them on as the authorized user. For example, Navy Federal. When my daughter turned 18, I added her as an authorized user on my card with the largest limit, and it helped her out immediately. And I'm gonna tell y'all something I did that was a little dangerous. I let her get her own card freshman year, because I just wanted to see, have you been listening to everything I tell you? And what she do? What we all do. She maxed it out. And who paying it back? She is. So I let her run into that brick wall so she can understand how important it is to have it available, what it feels like to pay it back. So hopefully we satisfied that itch of running up debt. So yeah, gotta let them hang themselves just a little bit. But homegirl went to Mexico. Homegirl brought books. She did a lot. And I'm like, okay, sis, here come the bill. Well, I thought you have a job. Why would I? So now she's going through the growing pains of paying that credit card balance back, and understanding that when she gets it back down to a zero balance, if it's not an emergency, she's not going to be using it frivolously. But yeah, it definitely will help them build their credit.
Is there a way to get a credit card in your, like, say if your child goes to college, you don't want to get them a credit, but you want them to have credit when they get out of college? Can you get a credit card in their name and then just keep it and like make payments on it, or what? You know what I'm saying? To help them build up credit while they're in college, so when they graduate, they start off with good credit going out into the world.
You could do that as long as y'all agree. Like, as long as they know, because you don't want them to get in a situation where they might apply for something and they don't know nothing about the card, but you're doing right by the card for their benefit.
Right.
But yeah, as long as you do right with the card and it's helping them, and that's a wonderful gift for graduation. Excellent credit. So now there's nothing that you can't do. Um I just feel the flip side of that is them not appreciating it as much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know for me, I had children really young. So it's like I shielded them from a lot of stuff that I had to endure. And they're not as I don't know, the drive ain't the same. Or the need to hustle ain't the same because so much has been given. That's why I did that with the credit card, gave it to her, and just kind of seeing what she was gonna do with it. And as expected, she ran it up, but now she's paying it back, so she's gonna appreciate it more once it gets back to a zero balance. But yeah, as long as y'all on the same accord about it and it's for their benefit, it should be no problem. Are they away at school?
Oh no, it's not for me. One of my friends did that, and I was just wondering if it was a good idea.
Yeah.
To do that.
Because I was gonna do something similar at first, and I was like, well, we'll just use it when it's time to buy books. But then the phone calls start coming every day, like, you got $10 for pizza, you got $10 for gas. And it's like, I don't. So definitely got to see what how they would act with it.
That makes sense.
Cause that girl almost drove me crazy her first year. So she ended up getting like a little part-time job. Anything else? Any real estate questions, business questions? I know credit is the foundation for everything, but anything about any questions?
Right. She's personal, business, and home ownership. So if you have a question about those areas, make sure you put your question in the comments.
I don't mind, y'all. I don't bite. Where's some of you guys located? Business credit. Okay, so business credit is the exact, well, I ain't gonna say it's the exact opposite of personal credit. But with business credit, they look for about 18 to 21 pieces of information to make sure you are what they would consider an established or legit business. For all my business clients, I have them make a list of their monthly supplies so that when we are shopping with different business vendors who help establish business credit, you're not just paying for stuff just to be paying for it. I try to help them make it make sense, or else building business credit would require you just spending money just to be spending money. And I'll be honest with you, business vendors, the supplies and stuff cost more because anything associated with business, you're going to pay for it. So if my client is someone who uses Pine Sol to clean their house, I would say, okay, buy your Pine Sol in bulk from maybe like Quill somewhere that helps build your business credit. But basically, how you build business credit is shopping with different vendors who report to your business paydex score, so that when you're looking for funding from a bank, you already have an established score. You're not starting from scratch. So basically, it requires you spending money you wouldn't normally spend with people you wouldn't normally spend it with in order to achieve that goal. And it takes about 6 months to build business credit. But it's worth it because it opened up so many doors for other opportunities of funding. What type of business? SAM number. SAM number. Now with business, I know there's a couple of codes that are kind of important. Of course, you got your EIN, you got your Duns and Bradstreet, and then you got your SSC code to just kind of differentiate what type of business you're involved in. So I'm not sure if SAM is similar to your SIC code. And what type of consulting? So SAM is related to like pretty similar what is it called? SWAM.
Yep.
That's related to that. Now, I haven't been SWAM certified for either of my businesses just yet. I don't know why. But it's definitely something I need to do. Yeah. It all kind of is codes they use to kind of describe your business on the back end. If you look up SSC codes, there's different ones for real estate, transportation, agriculture, consulting, depending on what type of consulting it is. So yeah, they kind of break everything down into codes. Yeah, SWAM is only for VA. I'm located in Hampton Roads area. And I know that's something I should put on my to-do list for kind of like both of my businesses. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. But yeah, they break them down into different codes. Yep, but I have a couple of friends. I have one young lady who's in transportation. She is in like the Chesterfield, Richmond area. She is SWAM certified. And when the government has a contract to come up for jobs, well, yeah, come up for jobs where she's transporting clients back and forth to work or school, different things like that, she is able to bid and win some of those government contracts. Nope, they're not. Well, I don't want to say they're not associated with building business credit, because it is very important that when you, from the moment you register your business with the state, it is very important to make sure all that information is kind of aligned. So you want to make sure you have the correct codes, because banks and lenders do check things like that. Not so much net 30s, but banks and lenders, they do check to make sure all your information is kind of like streamlined across the board. So if you are a consulting firm, they don't want to see a SAM number or a SIC number for agriculture or transportation. Everything has to be aligned properly. I'm waiting to see if anything else comes up. You're welcome.
You're welcome. All right, Shonda has 2 minutes left. Do y'all have any more questions, comments, concerns? Shoot them.
And if you think of something after the 2 minutes, feel free to inbox me, text me, email me. I try to make myself very accessible. You're welcome. So just let me know.
All right, Shonda has 2 minutes left. Do y'all have any
Okay, Alicia, I'll be waiting to hear from you.
I can't see on my side who the users are. All right. So, Shonda, ma'am, you did an amazing job. I appreciate you coming on, giving us this knowledge that we need. And again, if you want to chat with Shonda, she's in the group. So if you want to, Shonda, if you want to start a thread for them to put questions under there, you can inbox her. Okay. You can email her at info@creditupamericallc.com. You can give her a phone call at 757-470. I'm blind. I think that's 3997. And I think that is it. Again, we thank you so much. The S.H.E.R.O Initiative Program, Alpha Gamma Xi Sorority Incorporated. We thank you for coming in. Yeah, I pulled her at the last minute. She was like, "Of course," and of course she has that beautiful smile. So I was just like, "Awesome." And we appreciate you. Thank you for coming on, ladies. The next speaker will begin at the top of the hour. So at 3:00. I'll come back on with my just went blank. I think up next is Brenda Harvin, life coach Brenda Harvin. And she'll be talking about being a single mother, maneuvering through this pandemic, this crisis. I'm sure a lot of us can relate, even if we are not single mothers. We can relate to the information that she'll be relaying. So please come back at 3:00. Shonda, again, thank you. And we'll see you guys at the top of the hour.
Thanks for having me.